So anyway, I have all these other stories I was going to cover. I probably will, including the Breitbart setup of Trump with that reporter who has made herself, the reporter who said that Trump's aide attacked her with a little mark on her arm. How do we know her boyfriend didn't put the mark on the arm? I mean, I watched the videotape. You know that story or not? Trump aide charged with misdemeanor battery versus ex-Breitbart reporter. It's a huge story for 3 reasons. 1, because it's a non-story turned into a real story. 2, because the girly reporter has done this before when she worked for the Daily Caller. She claimed she was roughed up by the NYPD. She's a maniac, in my opinion. A narcissistic maniac. She makes Megyn Kelly look like Mother Teresa. So I'm sure that Roger Ailes will be calling any moment. I'm sure they got the shoes, they got the Manalos ready in the back room. They got the stylist, they got the makeup artist, they're ready for her. She's now made herself perfect fodder for the Fox News network. But that's a huge story for 2 reasons. You know why? Because A, Lewandowski, who is, I never met the man, by the way, Donald Trump's media handler, pushed her out of the way because she got next to the candidate. The guy who really should have been doing this was the Secret Service dummy, seen in the picture doing nothing, standing there like a cardboard cutout of Dick Tracy. What is the point of having a Secret Service bodyguard if the guy stands there like a wooden statue when this unknown woman, a so-called Breitbart reporter, runs up to the candidate after he has answered questions and harasses Donald Trump? Tell me what good the Secret Service did. The answer is no good. So naturally, the press secretary would run in and stop her because he don't know who she is. She could have been a terrorist. She could have stabbed him. She could have shot him. She could have blown herself up. He didn't know who she was. I'm going to tell you something. If I were running Donald Trump's campaign, I would bring action against her for assaulting a presidential candidate. Frankly, I would turnabout is fair play. She wants to be in the media. She ought to be in the media. She wants to be in the public eye. She ought to be in the public eye. And I would say the Donald Trump campaign has every right to bring a lawsuit against her for assaulting a candidate. Then she'll get what she wants. That's a made-up story by the Breitbart reporter. As a matter of fact, I suggested at the top of the show that the Trump campaign should bring a lawsuit. Charges, Frank, not a lawsuit. Charges against this reporter for assaulting Donald Trump. The problem with that idea is that they'll call Donald Trump a bully if he does it, because all Lewandowski did, if you look at the actual tape, is stop this unknown female from approaching a presidential candidate while Mr. Dumbbell, the Secret Service dumbbell, stands there like Dick Tracy. Moron stands there. Why? Everyone thinks, Secret Service, man, they're the best. Well, they're not the best. The NYPD probably has better bodyguards than the Secret Service. Where'd they get this stiff from? Didn't move a hand. She rushes the crowd, rushes right up to the candidate. So Lewandowski, with his long arm, reaches out and grabs a hand. She could have had a knife, could have had a gun, could have had an explosive vest. How do we know what she had? Why must you assume that he knew who she was? Lewandowski should be given a medal by the U.S. government for protecting the candidate from an unknown female assailant. And I think that they should consider bringing assault charges against her and teach her a good lesson, that she's not above the law. Secondly, Donald Trump had just finished giving a speech. She had every opportunity to ask a question then, but no one called on her. So this maniac narcissist made for Fox News leapt at him. That's another story you're not calling on, because you can't see the video while you're listening to talk radio. That's all. Move on. Nothing to see here.